There's been a lot of changes to Star Wars Battlefront 2 since release, and with the buffs and nerfs coming to each class, there's been a great disturbance in the Force. It's like all the assaults just cried out and then silenced all at once. Today, I'm going to argue how the recent changes and the newest patch have weakened the assault class. While the class itself has not received any nerfs directly, it has been weakened by the buffs to the other classes. While the class is still viable and overall decent, I'm basically going to argue that the recent round of buffs to the specialist and the heavy has made the assault class fall into the bottom of the pack when it comes to overall strength. Before we get into the meat and potatoes, just wanted to remind everyone that if you're looking for a group to play with, head over to the general forums on the StarWarsGaming.net site. There you'll find the Greeny Weenie Master List, and it'll include some of the coolest players you'll ever meet. We may not be the best in terms of skill, but we definitely are when it comes in terms of community and enjoyment of Star Wars Battlefront 2. While we go over these passive nerfs to the assault class, let me know what you do and don't agree with. Or if there's something in particular you're looking for a video on, let me know and I'll see what I can do. We're going to start with how the changes to the new best class, and my favorite, have weakened the assault class, and that's the specialist. Now, I've talked about the specialist in almost every video since the age of the specialist has begun, and if you played the assault class, or still do, and prefer the A280, go ahead and take that step to a better and improved version. The specialist health buff has made the baseline specialist equal to the assault in max health at 150. However, the specialist have a nice little card called Hardened Infiltration, which will reduce the damage taken by about 30% when it's active. With Hardened Infiltration active, you have almost the same amount of health as a heavy, but a far more accurate and deadly weapon. Infiltration is also very similar to Vanguard, in that it gives you a speed boost and drops troopers quickly. While Vanguard is a little more consistent with the one-shot kill, Infiltration has better cards and a better secondary perk, which is to show the enemy locations on your minimap. Before the health boost, you were trading 50 health for the information and intel as a specialist. Now, you're not giving up anything and are basically able to run a wall hack every 14 seconds or so, if you run the right cards. This makes Infiltration so much better than Vanguard. Since you don't need to guess where the enemy is, you already know where they are. And when we look over at the weapons, a lot of assaults run the A280. And while that's a decent weapon, the 3 rounds of the assault's A280 come out ridiculously slow. If you compare it to any other burst weapon in the game, it's the slowest in the game. So now, we'll compare it to the specialist version of the same weapon. See how much faster the 3 rounds come out? This allows more rounds to land on target and a faster time to kill. It also makes range easier since you don't have as much recoil between the rounds. Not only does the burst fire faster, but the base A280 and the A280 CFE have an identical damage profile. The difference comes when you look at the attachments. The A280 for the assault has improved range, which allows for higher damage at max range, and the A280 CFE for specialist has ion shot, which reduces the damage to troopers but helps take down shields, vehicles, and turrets faster. Another difference comes in the cooling power. The assault A280 can also fire off more rounds with improved cooling modification than the A280 CFE before needing to automatically cool down. However, the cooling for this weapon is so fast it's hardly noticeable and generally pretty easy to use. There are a few things that the assault has that are missing for the specialist, like toughen up and health back on kill with assault training. However, I would argue that Hardened Infiltration cancels out the benefit of toughen up. While toughen up regenerates your health, Hardened Infiltration gives you reduced damage. So Hardened Infiltration is a more active card, while toughen up is more reactive. It's hard to beat the assault training card though. That card's pretty amazing. The assault also has a better explosive in the thermal detonator. However, with the improved health, I'm finding uses for the shock grenade that I couldn't really use before, especially in the smaller modes, since it'll show the outline of the enemy that steps into it. This lets you know where the enemy is, giving you even more intel for those sweet, sweet flanks. So you're not sold yet that the assault has fallen in the ranks. You're probably thinking, well, the assault can still take out vehicles faster with the ion grenade. And I would reply, yes, but you're giving up a card slot for something you can use an attachment for as a specialist. Not to mention, you're also giving up the thermal detonator, which is the strongest lethal grenade for troopers. And if that doesn't sell you, I would point you to the other class that just got a buff and is now the vehicle wrecking machine, the heavies. It pains me to say this. The heavy class isn't my bottom class anymore. The simple change to the ion torpedo has moved them up, and the ability to take down vehicles quickly is fantastic for heavy vehicle maps. Ion torpedo now gets 3 shots before it's forced to cool down, and while the cooldown does feel rather long, there's usually an officer around with recharge to help you out. The ion torpedo can lock on at a longer range than the assault can throw the ion grenade, allowing the heavy class to stay a little bit safer, and it gets 3 shots instead of 1. The ion torpedo can also lock on and destroy destroy air, and while the ion grenade I guess can, if the air is flying low enough, you would need several in order to do it. The ion torpedo is so strong that it can take out a fighter or a speeder on Hoth in 2 torpedoes, an interceptor in 1, and a bomber in 3. This means if all of your torpedoes hit, you can take out 1, possibly 2 air units with 1 cooldown of this card. This is a huge game changer for Hoth, making it harder for the rebels to get air superiority or even to trip up the walker. Just get a few heavies in there and the air threat is almost non-existent. It also makes quick work of ground tanks. While you will need to shoot them a little after you fire your 3 torpedoes on them, it won't take long before that tank goes down. The ion torpedo can also destroy enemy turrets in 1 shot, and while it's not as easy to use as the ion grenade for this purpose, it can take 3 out from across the map that the ion grenade cannot. With the buff to the number of torpedoes available, there is also an increase in the damage as well. And if you're defending on a walker escort, if several players on your team are running this card, you'll be able to take the walker down to 50 health super fast. And we've done it on the stream before the first set of launchers was moved back, and that was on Kashyyyk. This one card has changed the game when it comes to the walker modes, giving the defending team a fighting chance to win phase 1, even on the worst map. While I still believe the assault class has better weapons, the heavy beats them when it comes to toys with this change. And I've actually started playing the heavy class on the vehicle heavy maps, and not to mention that the ion turret is still a thing. While the officer hasn't gotten any major buffs and mainly have gotten nerfs, their weapons are still better than anything the assault class has to offer. The weapons for the officer class are the most effective and the most lethal at close range. Even the nerfs haven't been enough to reduce the blurg down to where the assault class would have better close range weapons. In summary, the assault has been passively nerfed and surpassed by the specialist in the heavy and utility, with the heavy's ion torpedo taking the place of the anti-vehicle class and the specialist infiltration basically being a map hack with more health. And if you really want to be a team player, you can drop the more health on your infiltration to show the enemy locations to your friends with scrambled infiltration. The specialist also offers a better version of the A280 and the A280 CFE with a faster rate of fire, the same damage profile. While the assault is still a good class, they just aren't as strong in comparison to the others right now. What do you think? Do you feel the assault class has been passively nerfed like myself, or do you feel they're just as strong as they were before? If you enjoyed this video or are just hearing this, give that like button a click. I mean, it came all this way. Then hit that subscribe and notification button so you can know when new videos come out. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in game.